All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to my first official podcast, episode 1, AliTalks Sports. It's great to have you all. To the ones watching on YouTube, to the ones listening on Spotify, I welcome you all. So today I just wanted to talk about the Lions and the current state that they are in. As we all know, the Lions are 8-6 and third in the NFC North and eighth in the NFC. They currently have a 37% chance of making the playoffs, while as I'm looking at it right now. Um, and if they lose against the Steelers, they're gonna end up with a 14% chance to make the playoffs. Um, and if they win, it goes up to a 47%, 10% jump. So, to be honest, we need the Lions to win out. As Lions fans, we need the Lions to win out. Um, the Bears sit in second with a 76% chance of making the playoffs. But if they lose, it goes down to 60%. And if they win, it's a 94%. All right, so the Lions take on the Steelers at Ford Field, the last home game of the year, and then they're on the road for the next two. They go against the 8-6 Steelers with Aaron Rodgers. The Lions have currently a 72.6% win probability. Um, yep. Yes, they do. Okay. Just making sure. All right. Now I want to go over the stats for quarterbacks real quick. I want to see who leads the league in stats. All right. So passing yards, Jared Goff is top 3. He's top 3 in passing yards at 3,672. The only two people over him are Matthew Stafford and Dak Prescott. All right. Now let's check touchdowns. Wow. Okay. So Jared Goff is number 2 in the whole league at touchdowns at 29. Only person over him is, you guessed it, Matthew Stafford. Now, completion percentage, let me check that. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, wow. So Jared Goff is at a 69.3%. Drake May is at a 70.9. Yeah, so pretty decent completion percentage. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So Jared Goff is basically top 5 in nearly every stat. I don't know about rushing. I'm not gonna check that because we all know how that will turn out. So our rushing leader is currently Jahmyr Gibbs at 1,100. Our receiving leader is Amon-Ra with 1,140. And then our lead tackler is Jack Campbell. Man, that was a great pick from Brad, I can't lie. At 143 tackles. Wow. And then our leading wow, this is crazy. Our leader in interceptions is, you're not gonna believe it, Kirby Joseph at 3. 3 interceptions, and he's our leading wow, that's insane, because Kirby hasn't played since that Chiefs game, and he's still the leading player with the interceptions. I can't lie, that's kind of embarrassing, but yet again, interceptions are hard to come by, so I won't dread on it too much. All right, so let's look at the playoff machine. So, me personally, I want to win the NFC North and get the 3rd seed at home in the playoffs. It might not be possible. It is possible, but it might be difficult. Okay, so the Lions have to win against the Steelers. We all know that. Okay, so they have to beat the Steelers. Go ahead and put it in on that. And then the Bears Honestly, the Bears-Packers game, it could go either way. We don't like hmm, for playoff reasons, I say root for the Packers because the Bears, remember, they just need to lose one game. Let's say we don't win the NFC North, and our other option to make the playoffs was the Bears lose one game, and then we beat them in Week 18. I say root for the Packers just so the Bears can knock this loss off, and we could, know what we're playing for. So Packers beat the Bears in Week 16. Um, Week 17, Lions beat the Vikings. Um, and then where are they? Okay, and then the Ravens beat the Packers, even at Lambeau. And then I have the Niners beating the Bears. I don't know about y'all, but I have the Niners beating the Bears. And then I have the Lions beating Chicago in Week 18. Packers beating the Vikings. And then that puts the Lions at 11-6 at the 7th seed. But to win the NFC North, we need the Packers to lose to the Ravens. Sorry, yeah, I had the Ravens beating the Packers. I don't know why I picked the Ravens. Wait, what? Hold on. I'm confused. Yep, Ravens win. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're gonna have to root for the Bears then against the Packers in Week 16. Yep. So root for the Bears against the Packers in Week 16, and then Week 17 we need the Ravens to beat the Packers, and then the Week 18 game where they play the Vikings, it won't matter because they already lost 2 games, and the Lions would need to win out, obviously, and then the Bears would lose to the Niners. Yep, and then to lose to us. Yep. Okay, so that yeah. So in Week 16, I say, as a Lions fan, root for the Bears to beat the Packers, root for the Lions to beat the Steelers. In Week 17, root for the Lions to beat the Vikings, root for the Niners to beat the Bears, and root for the Ravens to beat the Packers. And then in Week 18, go Lions, win the NFC North, period, and make the playoffs at the 3rd or 2nd seed. It's unlikely we get the 4th seed because Tampa and the Carolina are battling that one out. So they both have pretty meh records. Oh, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Um, but yeah. So the first seed in the NFC currently is the Los Angeles Rams that already, got a playoff spot. They've secured it. And then it's the Bears at 2, Eagles at 3, Bucks at 4, Seahawks at 5, Niners at 6, and the Packers at 7. And then Lions at 8, Panthers at 9, and Cowboys at 10. I don't know how the Cowboys are still in playoff contention. It says they have a 1% chance to make the playoffs. That's crazy. But yeah, this current Lions team, they're not as bad as their record puts it. 8-6. I don't think this team is an 8-6 team. Honest. Sure, the defense might be an 8-6 team, but do I think the team is an 8-6 team? No, absolutely not. They're they're too talented, bro. I don't. It's the small details that's losing us these games. Whether it's clock management, whether it's the flags, whether it's small mistakes on the defense, whether it's letting up big plays, whether it's the third down conversions on offense or the fourth down decisions or the missed field goals. It's always small mistakes that come back and bite us in the bum. And honestly, I truly think this team is still. This is going to be a really hot take, but I still think this team can win the Super Bowl this year. You're going to go like, "What? Have you seen this defense?" Yes, I have. But here's the thing. In 2023, when we went to the NFC Championship, we had one of the worst defenses in the league. Like genuinely one of the worst. Sure, you could say, "Yeah, but they blew that lead at half because of the defense." No, offense was, remember that fourth down decision to go for it. Remember that bad pass by Goff. Remember that fumble by Gibbs. Not everything came from the defense in that NFC Championship game. Came from the offense too. Okay. Oh yeah, not to mention the freaking Vildor catch. The Vildor tip catch to Brandon Ayuk, I believe it was. Jeez, that catch haunts me to this day. Um, the only NFC contender I see to win the Super Bowl this year are the Rams. Mm, the Rams and the Seahawks. Those are the only two contenders I see in the NFC. The Bears, Eagles, Bucks, Niners, and Packers, they're all beatable. Sure, we lost to the Packers 0-2, but here's the thing. They just lost Micah, and Micah was one of the main problems when we went up against them because of, Goff. You know how Goff is in the pocket. But yeah, I don't really see any other team competing in the NFC. Sure, it looks like a war in here right now, but real Super Bowl contenders, I'm talking just about a Super Bowl contender. I say Rams and the Seahawks are my Super Bowl contenders, and we're behind them. It's a crazy hot take. People are going to clown me for that, but I don't care. I truly think this Lions team can still contend for a Super Bowl. It's not completely out of the window, and the fans have given up on them. I personally have not. Maybe I'm biased. I don't care. I have faith, which a lot of people don't have, but I still have faith. Now, I want to go real quick to the AFC. The Broncos sit at 1 at 12-2. Um, Patriots at 2, Jags at 3, Steelers at 4, Chargers at 5, Bills at 6, and Texans at 7, Colts at 8. Personally, in my opinion, my AFC contenders for a Super Bowl are the Broncos and the Bills. That's it. Broncos, Bills. Those are the only two teams that I could see going to the Super Bowl. Broncos and the Bills. Because the Bills don't have the Chiefs in the playoffs, so they're going to the Super Bowl, to be honest. I don't see anybody stopping the Bills but the Broncos. That's it. Genuinely, that's my opinion on it. So yeah, I believe this team can win the Super Bowl. I still think they will. They're too good of a team to go out sad. Okay? They're too good of a team to go out sad like that. So honestly, to Dan Campbell or to whoever who's calling, those offensive games, the whoever's calling the offense play calls, please start using Montgomery more. We were using him last game against the Rams. It was working, and then we stopped using him. Hold on, let me actually look at David Montgomery's game against the Rams. Hold on, because I'm genuinely curious how it looked now. All right, Los Angeles Rams. He had 7 carries for 32 yards and 1 touchdown, and then we stopped using him. Like, this is the same thing that happened against the Commanders. We used Gibbs, he was working, and then we stopped using him. I don't get it. I don't know why we do that, but that needs to stop because the Lions are now. Let me look at their schedule. Okay, we started the season off 4-1, right? And then we lost, we won, we lost, we won, we lost, we won, we lost, we won, and then we lost again. And now we have a chance to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers to break that NFL record most wins after a loss at 16, I believe. So listen, I still think the Lions will make the Super Bowl. I don't know about they'll definitely contend for it. All right, it's gonna be tough to get there. Brad Holmes, you need to start doing your job, which you haven't. Um, and then the toughest thing about all of this is winning out. Pittsburgh, it's gonna be a tough game. Aaron Rodgers does not like the Lions one bit. It's gonna be a tough game. even if it's at home. He's gonna be slinging that motherfucker. And then at Minnesota, that's no easy game either. 9 is starting to look pretty decent, and it's at Minnesota, and it is never an easy place to play there. On Christmas Day too, at 4:30, you know that crowd's gonna be rocking. I swear to God, if the Lions ruin my Christmas, bro, oh my God, I can't even think about that right now. And then Week 18, TBD flex game at Chicago. This one could be for the NFC North, or it could to knock out the other one out. It could be either or. It could be to see who wins the NFC North, or to see who makes the playoffs. Lions beat the Bears. Bears are out. Bears beat the Lions. Lions are out. Ben Johnson versus Dan Campbell. Storyline the NFL loves. Flex it to Sunday Night Football, 8:20 p.m. or 7:20, whichever one it is, and let them battle it out for the North, just like last year in Week 18 against the Vikings that I was in attendance for, and it was awesome. As you can tell, look at that Goff poster in the back on my left. You see that little blue strip on the right side of him? Yeah, that was from the game. The confetti that fell from Ford Field after we won the NFC North and got the first seed. I picked up one of the confettis and brought it home with me as a trophy. Even though I wasn't playing on the field, I still felt like I should grab one and keep it as a trophy. All right. Now, with all that being said, I love my Lions. I will forever root for them. I will not bash them. I will criticize at times, but I will not bash the players because they go out there and give it their all. Genuinely, they really do. All right, so I will not bash them for it. Go Lions, one pride. Let's get this dub, 3 in a row, baby. Let's go.